the situations you expose yourself to, do you fear for your safety?
I mean, I get death threats. I've had to get the FBI involved. We've had our house deemed, targeted many different times. I can't walk on a college campus without 10 armed guards, helicopter support at times. Yeah, I have security and stuff, but these people are cowards. If they want to do something against me, whatever. I mean, that's part of the game. I've been kicked out of restaurants. I've been physically threatened. I've had stuff thrown at me. I've had Antifa follow me through the streets. I've had all that sort of stuff. And it's really interesting. Back in the 80s and 90s, a big fear from the left is they would say, we can't give power to all those Christians because they're going to be fundamentalists and they're going to come after us and it's going to be a theocracy. You probably remember this period in American history.
Of course.
And the exact opposite has happened. As America became more secular and the left took power, they became evangelical, not Christian evangelical. They're the ones that are basically, they think this is like a holy war. They think like, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to destroy your life. And kind of, if you don't agree with me, I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. That's fine, I guess. Sure. I don't obsess over it. But these people are so convinced to destroy you if you do not hold their opinion. It's incredibly pathological.
Charlie Kirk shot and killed while speaking at an event in Utah Valley University this afternoon.
We do have some breaking news coming into our newsroom right now. Charlie Kirk has passed away as a result of the shooting incident that occurred this afternoon in Utah Valley University. That is where he was speaking, part of his Prove Me Wrong series. He'd taken the stage. He'd only been on stage for about 20 minutes doing a Q&A with the audience members there, and that is when there was a single gunshot. That gunshot hit him in the neck.
So there's two ways to govern humans. One way is through talking and speaking, convincing, reasoning, getting together in a room and coming together and saying, this is a bad idea, it's a good idea, let's have some nuance and some compromise. Okay, the other way is by force. I have a bigger army, a bigger sword, and I'm willing to use it. Shut up. Most of human history has been governed by force, not talking and speaking. The American idea, the American experiment, was let's govern by speaking and talking. So now we have a devolution back to this idea of governing by force. I cannot get a liberal to talk to me on my podcast. I can't find one. Why? I'll go talk on any liberal podcast. They never invite me on theirs, and they won't come on mine. They believe speech is evil. They believe that if they come talk to me, they're validating a dialogue that will only make the country less likely from being made in their image. Aristotle famously said, what makes us different than any other creature on the planet is we can talk. We should not forget that. We have things so good in this country. We have grown so comfortable. It's so convenient. It's so easy that we have no idea how easy this thing can all crumble. And I deal with the most radical voices on the left. I see their ideas being mainstreamed and platformed on a daily basis, where police departments are being defunded in Minneapolis and murder rates are up 40%, where pedophilia is being decriminalized in California. If this is not a fire alarm for those of us that just believe in decency and believe in normal American values, I'm obviously a conservative and I'm not unafraid to talk about it. However, if you're not even political, this should concern you because there's a disintegration happening in front of our very eyes. And so, I mean, I hate to put it in those terms, save the country, but that's basically what I try to do. I'm trying to save it from, I hate to be this political about it, I'm trying to save it from the bitterness and ingratitude of the left. I'm trying to save it from people that, quite honestly, they're angry that they live in America, not thankful that they live here. Now, all of a sudden, those of us that believe in taking responsibility for yourself and for your family, not blaming other people for your circumstances, applying yourself correctly, finding a good and moral aim, all of a sudden this is considered to be controversial. And I think it's actually really dangerous for our country to do that and for our civilization to do that.
Before you ever demand anything from your society or your government or from others, you must demand excellence from yourself. Before you ever demand anything from society or others, you must demand excellence from yourself. If you are unshaven and like waking up at 5 a.m. and doing drugs and being like, the world is so unjust, give me free stuff, like, get your act together before you start to go tell other people to give up their liberty, freedom, and their stuff, okay? So I want to be very clear. Positive thinking has a bad rap in some way. I think we should be accurate thinkers, but you should also understand that your attitude is 100% in your control. 100%. The unhappy make the world worse. But I don't love that term, positive thinking, because people think of it as like delusional thinking, where, you know, as Tony Robbins would say, you don't go into your garden and say, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. You go into your garden and you say, here's the weed and let me pull it out so that you could live a better life and fix your thinking patterns. And so Andrew Tate said this. I'm not an apologist for Andrew Tate, by the way. I think he's got a lot of problems, but I think he was totally right when he said this, which is that society in general wants you depressed and they don't want you happy. That if you're happy and joyful, people act as if there's something wrong with you. But if you're depressed and angry or bitter, they're like, everything's right with you. That's weird. And totally understanding that depression is a real thing and that people can struggle with it and anxiety is a real thing, totally get it. Happy to give you resources on that. However, your attitude is still a choice, and how you act is a choice every single day. Only you are to blame for whether you are happy or unhappy today. That is completely on you, not on systemic racism, colonialism, misogyny, homophobia, or somebody calling you a bad name.
I can see you far and wide across the ocean, above the clouds. In your presence, I am free. I hear your whisper through the wind. Right now, there's no place that I would rather be. So let this moment last. I've searched myself, I've tried to figure out